And yeah, we get understeer. Is that safe? Understeer? No. Hey guys, this week we have a 2024 Subaru WRX TR. Now for 2024 model year, Subaru added a new trim to the WRX lineup. It's called TR. Some may take it as a reference to all 2006 or 2007 Hawkeye WRX, which had a TR trim. It stands by tuner ready, and it was basically a stripped down WRX that was made for enthusiasts who wanted to mod their cars. Now this is quite the opposite, because here we get the goodies that we all want. So the TR received retuned suspension with higher spring rates. We get revised steering rack, much more stickier Bridgestone Potenza 007 tires, slightly more rigid body, and deletion of sunroof, which can be seen as lower center of gravity or weight reduction. We also get those Recaro seats that the top of the line GT gets. So it's a nice package which drives pretty well. As we're here on my favorite back road, let's put the stability control into track mode, downshift a couple of gears, very easy to rev match, even into second. And typically for a Subaru product that should be a sporty model, we get a lot of mechanical grip. Now, the symmetrical all-wheel drive system is obviously standard and splits torque 50-50 front and rear. The suspension has been calibrated on a stiffer side, but even despite those bumps that we have on this road over here, the car doesn't seem to be upset. The engine delivers the power in an amazing way. Subaru finally figured out how to tune their engines, and this one, we don't have much rev hang. There's no weird dips in power. The engine is consistent no matter what gear we're in. This is amazing. Even though I've been kind of like driving in aggressively on this back road, I didn't notice any issues with timing. So the heat control is also pretty good on this thing. We obviously in the TR get a 6-speed manual transmission as standard. It's not the best shifter in the world, but it'll do it. The clutch is actually very nice. Not as weird as it used to be in previous generation WRXs. It's much easier to feel it and to use it no matter if you drive aggressively or on a daily basis. And yet this thing handles like a dream. For what it is, you know, it's not a Civic Type R levels of handling, but it does inspire confidence and you can have plenty of fun in it. Now, the TR package also gives you upgraded Brembo brakes with 6-piston front calipers, and they provide great braking power, inspire confidence. I haven't noticed any issues with fading or overheating. Yeah, they're amazing. Yeah, the WRX definitely likes when you toss it in corners, and obviously does better in those mid-speed corners. Low speed are not necessarily its cup of tea. Let's approach our blind corner, and yeah, we get understeer. Is that safe? Understeer, known from other Subaru models, lets you know to chill out. Obviously, I couldn't feel much on the steering wheel. I think despite retuned rack, there's still some work that Subaru can do with the steering feel and feedback. It is precise. It's very quick. The car goes exactly where I want it to go, but I just don't feel much, so that's the only downside. Now, Subaru also announced a TS WRX, which will come out probably in a couple of months. It will get the adaptive dampers from the top of the line GT, so I'm really curious how that car will do. Looks like Subaru is doing everything not to make the STI. We get the TR, we're getting the TS. The motor remains unchanged in those, you know, it's still that new 2.4 liter 271 horsepower Boxer 4. I don't know why they're doing that. I understand that WRX is more popular model than the STI, but in this day and age, I think it would find some buyers. The body control is pretty good. You know, obviously there is a little bit of body roll, but I really enjoy driving this. Got also another corner where we can check. Yeah, it did understeer, but it's totally fine. You're not gonna drive like a maniac, even on a back road like that. Now, as we're cruising here on a highway, let's engage adaptive cruise control, which is standard in all WRXs. We get the eyesight safety suite, and let's talk about what it's been like to live with this thing the past couple of days. Great. Honestly, there's nothing for me to complain about. The clutch is easy to operate. It's easy to drive this thing in traffic. You don't get annoyed, you don't get frustrated. The engine has a very nice power delivery. It's smooth. The cabin is pretty well isolated for what this thing is. It's definitely quieter than the Civic Type R or the Civic Si. All the safety systems work fine. You know, they are a little bit intrusive. Typically for Subaru, they're very proactive, but you can get used to that. You know, what really matters here is that we got a driver's car that handles well. We get a 6-speed gearbox. The car does what you want it to do, not what it wants to do. And for many people, standard symmetrical all-wheel drive system will be a deal breaker, especially if you live in a cold climate. You know, the only other option is Golf R, but it's not gonna feel as raw as the WRX does, and it's gonna be just a different experience. Now, I'm really curious what the TS will be like. We'll probably find out in a couple of months, but yeah, overall, you know, Subaru did a decent job, and I'm currently in the market for something like a WRX. I have a lot of cars that I'm considering, obviously Integra Type S, Civic Type R, Elantra N, but as you can hear in my voice, I'm not really convinced about it, and it's only because of the design. Now, I know WRX is no better, but Elantra's design is just not my cup of tea. I'm definitely adding WRX TR to my list. We'll probably find out next year what my new daily is going to be. Anyways, if you guys have any questions about the WRX, feel free to drop a comment and I'll answer them. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you all later.